Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will turn the pages of Love and Friendship by Jane Austen. Love and Friendship, written in 1787 by a teenage Jane Austen, is a satirical epistolary novella that parodies sentimental literature and explores romantic and social absurdities with biting wit. Composed as a series of letters, the novella showcases Austen's early talent for humor and sharp social commentary, setting the stage for the themes and style she would later perfect in her major novels. Plot summary. In the picturesque Vale of Usk, Laura grew up in a romantic setting surrounded by the love of her family. Her beauty and accomplishments were unrivaled, and her sensibility knew no bounds. When a mysterious knocking disrupted a quiet evening in December, it heralded the arrival of a dashing stranger, Edward, whose dramatic plight stirred Laura's tender heart. She soon declared him the love of her life, and they were hastily married by her father, despite the brevity of their acquaintance. This impulsive union was the first of many extraordinary events in Laura's tumultuous life. Laura and Edward departed from her familial home to visit Edward's aunt, Philippa, in Middlesex. There, they encountered Edward's cold and disapproving sister, Augusta, who embodied the opposite of Laura's refined sensibility. Augusta's skepticism of their match, coupled with the unexpected arrival of Sir Edward, Edward's father, led to a clash of wills. Sir Edward, appalled by his son's disregard for parental authority, demanded Edward return home. The young couple fled to a friend's estate, where they sought solace among like-minded souls. At the home of Augustus and Sophia, Edward's closest companions, Laura found a kindred spirit in Sophia. Both women, equally endowed with sensibility, formed an instant bond. Augustus, however, harbored a dark secret. He was living beyond his means. When creditors arrived, Augustus was arrested, and an execution was ordered upon his household. Laura and Sophia, overwhelmed by this catastrophe, fainted in despair. Determined to escape the calamity, Laura and Sophia embarked on a journey to London to reunite with Augustus. Along the way, they faced further trials, including the tragic deaths of Laura's parents and husband. Edward's sudden demise, a result of a tragic accident, left Laura bereft. She spiraled into madness, her grief manifesting in incoherent ramblings that mirrored her heightened sensibility. In her wanderings, Laura stumbled upon a modest cottage where she and Sophia sought refuge. Despite the kindness of the widow who hosted them, tragedy struck again when Sophia succumbed to illness, brought on by her many fainting fits. On her deathbed, Sophia advised Laura to eschew fainting in favor of the more invigorating exercise of running mad. Sophia's passing left Laura utterly desolate, yet her resolve to honor her friend's final advice kept her moving forward. Laura soon encountered her grandfather, Lord St. Clair, in a chance meeting at an inn. His recognition of Laura and Sophia as his granddaughters brought a brief reprieve from her misfortunes, though his generosity extended no further than a few banknotes. Before Laura could savor this familial connection, he departed abruptly, leaving her once again in a state of uncertainty. Seeking stability, Laura joined Sophia's cousin, MacDonald, at his estate. There, she became entangled in the romantic entreaties of young Janetta, MacDonald's daughter. With Laura's guidance, Janetta rebelled against her father's wishes to marry the unsuitable Graham, instead eloping with the more passionate Captain McHenry. The fallout from this escapade led to Laura and Sophia being expelled from MacDonald's home, forcing them to seek shelter under the open sky. As they journeyed aimlessly, a violent overturning of a phaeton brought Laura face-to-face with Edward and Augustus, gravely injured in the wreck. Augustus succumbed to his wounds, while Edward managed only to utter a few words before he too perished. Laura's grief intensified, manifesting in wild rants and visions. She eventually sought solace in a remote Highland village, where she could mourn in solitude. As the years passed, the fates of those she had known became clearer. Augusta married Graham, a match that reflected her practical disposition. Sir Edward remarried, achieving his wish for an heir. Philippa's fortunes waned, and her husband turned to driving a stagecoach for a living. Laura's theatrical cousins, Philander and Gustavus, found success on the London stage under assumed names, their performances celebrated for their flair and dramatics. Alone in the Highlands, Laura embraced her melancholy, reflecting on her losses and her enduring sensibility. Her thoughts lingered on Edward, Sophia, and the many trials she had endured, each a testament to her emotional depth. Though her days were marked by solitude, her heart remained steadfastly devoted to the memories of those she had loved and lost. That's a wrap, but the journey doesn't end. Explore more books by Jane Austen. You'll find the details in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Jane Austen's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.